Why you should get a second medical opinion. I want to start with the story of my grandmother. She was a borderline diabetic on a diet that resembled that. She walked daily in her neighborhood and on a treadmill. She was still overweight. She went to the doctor, who was a family practitioner. She complained to him for 2 years that her stomach was hard, there was something wrong, and he would just tell her to push away from the table. She never went to get a second opinion. He was a doctor after all. He knew what he was doing. One day she needed a blood test for something that was later forgotten. The same doctor who kept telling her to lose weight came to the office to tell her she needed to see a specialist. My grandmother was diagnosed with leukemia after complaining for almost 2 years. How many of you have ever had to get a second opinion, or maybe sat with parents as they had to hear bad news, and you just go along with the doctor's plans? This is not acceptable. Did you know that most insurance companies cover a second opinion? Is your doctor a specialist in the field? We know our bodies. If you do not agree with your doctor, it is within your right to get a second opinion. In the book, Top Screw-Ups Doctors Make and How to Avoid Them, patient safety expert Peter Prognos, MD, PhD, has told us that more than 100,000 patients die a year as a result of mixed diagnosis in hospitals. That does not take into account people who were misdiagnosed in doctor's offices, urgent care clinics, and nursing homes. My mother has been going to the same arthritis group for 20 plus years. They've always done the same thing, gave her medicines and moved her along to the next doctor as they retired or moved on. Lately her pain has gotten worse, but a new doctor finally saw the person and not the file. And she was also finally firm with him and said, hey, something's wrong with me. So be firm in telling your doctor your symptoms. Don't let them ignore you. Also be firm in getting a second opinion, even if it means you have to call around and get the names of doctors that are specialists in the field. Let's face it, we're a nation of busybodies. Somebody knows somebody. We ask for a second opinion when it comes to schools for our kids, neighborhoods to move into, and places to fix our cars. Why not for our bodies? We also need someone in our corner, someone to help us make these decisions and have these discussions. Some may be life-threatening, some just as simple as what's the next step to take. In the book, Your Medical Mind, Dr. Jerome Groopman said it is often suggested to bring a friend or family member or patient advocate to the appointment to serve as another set of eyes and ears, better able to capture what the physician is saying. Sometimes when receiving bad news, you shut down. You do not remember anything being said. When I was in my 20s, an ultrasound tech told me that it was unlikely that I would ever have children. My doctor was my second opinion. She gave me a glimmer of hope. She said that it would take a lot of trying and some doctor's assistance, but maybe I could have at least one child. My mom was there to hold my hands and to ask the questions that I wasn't capable of. We tend to see these doctors and nurses as all-knowing. How could they possibly be wrong? Doctors and nurses are people just like us, and they make mistakes. My grandmother's doctor was set in his ways and thought it was the only problem obese people had were that they were obese. Sometimes the people helping the doctors, or even the doctors, are not 100% that day. From the book, The Patient's Playbook by Leslie D. Mickelson, researchers discovered that lab technicians' ability to accurately interpret a Pap test culture for cell abnormalities often ebbed and flowed depending on the time of the day the reading was done. This research is one of the reasons you need a second opinion. Everyone is not perfect. You know your body and what's not supposed to be there, or when you just can't shake something. Get a second opinion. The first story I told you did not end in death, but in remission, but some stories do. I want to leave you with the last story to really make you hear why you need a second opinion. A woman who is 34, married with one child and no previous health problems, goes to OB with her husband. Great news, they are expecting baby number 2. They are concerned about a pea-sized bump on her hip. The nurse told them not to worry about it. A couple of months go by, there's the doctor again, the bump is bigger now and a concern. The bump, fed by the hormones of the pregnancy, are Ewing sarcoma, and it is spread. The woman is a fighter. She follows the doctor's plans, but it's all happening fast for her and her family. The baby is born and she keeps fighting, but the tumors, they just keep coming. After a 17-month fight, she is put to rest. She needed a second opinion. That pea-sized bump was something to worry about.